was never a more important time for Action on Addiction to succeed. And I, for one, could not be more delighted to support such a special organisation.
I think people assume that because I'm a parent, that's why I've taken an interest in the early years. I think this really is bigger than that. This isn't about.
Something strange is happening in the royal family, and it's all caught on camera. A new video of Kate Middleton and Queen Camilla is spreading fast, and people can't stop talking about it. The way they look at each other, the way they act. Something doesn't feel right. There's no shouting, no big fight, but the tension is clear. Kate's expression, Camilla's body language. It's almost like they're saying something without using words. It's making everyone wonder, what's really going on behind the scenes?
75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the Queen being there.
Is there a hidden problem between them? And why does this video feel so unsettling? The footage that sparked the frenzy. The video that's going viral right now is honestly hard to ignore. Everywhere you scroll, someone is talking about it, breaking it down frame by frame. It all happened during a royal event where the family was making a public appearance. The kind of event where everyone expects the royal family to look perfect, smiling, waving, and showing unity. From what people are saying, the footage was captured either during a church service or one of those outdoor ceremonies where the whole royal family lines up. You know the ones. Crowds gather, cameras flash, and every little glance is caught on tape. And it was during one of those moments that something super uncomfortable happened between Kate Middleton and Queen Camilla. Now, in the video, you see Kate walking just a little behind Camilla. At first, it looks normal. Just two royals doing their job. But if you look closely, that's where things start to feel weird. There's this second, literally just a second, where Kate's whole expression changes. She's usually so calm, always smiling, always looking kind. But here, it's like her face freezes. Kate approaches Camilla, and the second their eyes meet, you can just feel the tension. Kate's smile fades quickly. Her lips tighten, her jaw clenches ever so slightly, and she glances down. She avoids looking directly at Camilla, which is super strange if you think about it. After all, they're family, right? You'd expect at least a polite nod or a warm smile. But instead, it feels cold, distant, almost like they don't want to be near each other. Camilla's reaction wasn't much better. She glances at Kate for a split second, and then she looks away. Fast. It almost feels like Camilla was trying to avoid any sort of eye contact, and the way she turns her body ever so slightly away from Kate, people noticed. The body language here speaks louder than words. The internet, of course, did what it always does. Zoomed in, slowed it down, and started picking apart every tiny movement. Some people even put it in slow motion, adding dramatic music to make it feel even more intense. And you know what? When you watch it slowed down, it somehow feels even worse. You can see the exact moment Kate's expression changes. You can see the way Camilla shifts uncomfortably. What made it disturbing, though, wasn't that they argued or said anything harsh. There were no words exchanged, at least none that we could hear. But that's what made it so unsettling. Sometimes the things people don't say way more than words ever could. The way they both looked, stiff, uncomfortable, and almost like they didn't want to be there together, was enough to set off the internet. And honestly, it's not what we're used to seeing from either of them. Kate is known for being super graceful in public. She knows the cameras are always watching. She rarely slips up. Camilla, too, has gotten pretty good at handling these royal events, smiling through the noise. That's why this moment felt so out of character, for both of them. It made people wonder, what was really going on behind those cold glances? Is this just a one-time awkward moment? Or is it a glimpse of something deeper? Something that's been brewing for a while? Royal family dynamics? A history of tension? Now this brings us to the bigger question that everyone's asking. What's really going on between Kate and Camilla? Is this just a random, awkward moment? Or is there a history of tension between them? Well, if you've been following the royal family for a while, you probably know that Camilla has always been a controversial figure. Her history with King Charles, especially during his marriage to Princess Diana, made her one of the most disliked royals for a long time. Even though she's been working hard to change that image, some people still don't see her as the rightful queen. On the other hand, Kate is often seen as the royal family's golden girl. The public adores her. She's elegant, graceful, and honestly, she's everything people imagine when they think of a future queen. Kate has spent years building a perfect image. She's the mom of 3 beautiful kids, always smiling, always playing the part just right. And that's where things might get tricky. Camilla is now the queen consort, which technically puts her above Kate in the royal ranks. But in the eyes of the public, it often feels like Kate is already the queen. People love her, trust her, and see her as the future of the monarchy. For Camilla, that can't be easy. No matter how high her title is, she'll always be compared to Diana and now to Kate. And let's be honest, both comparisons are hard to win. Over the years, there have been little whispers about the 2 women not getting along, stories about icy glances, awkward conversations, and even disagreements over royal duties. Of course, the palace never confirms these things. They always put on a united front. But if you watch closely during public events, you can sometimes spot these little moments, like this recent footage, that make you wonder. Body language experts have also had a field day with their past interactions. Some have pointed out that Kate often keeps a certain distance from Camilla, especially during big public events. Others say Camilla sometimes looks a little too eager to show she's in charge, especially now that she's queen. There was even a story once about how Camilla wasn't too happy with how much attention Kate and William get. After all, every time Kate steps out in public, she steals the show. People care more about what Kate is wearing, how she's acting, and what she says. Camilla, on the other hand, often fades into the background. And then there's the media. The tabloids love this storyline. 2 powerful women, both in line for the crown in different ways, maybe not seeing eye to eye. It's the kind of drama that sells papers and gets clicks. So every little moment, every awkward glance, every forced smile gets turned into a headline. Jealousy, power, and public perception. The truth is, being part of the royal family is like living in a fishbowl. Every move is watched, every word is picked apart. And when it comes to Kate and Camilla, people naturally compare them. Kate is younger, loved by the people, and seen as the future. Camilla is older, with a complicated past, trying to hold her place in a family that has never fully accepted her in the eyes of the public. It's not hard to imagine that there could be some jealousy or power struggles happening behind the scenes. Maybe Camilla feels overshadowed by Kate. Maybe Kate feels she has to bite her tongue and play nice, even when things feel uncomfortable. And moments like the one caught in that viral video? They give people a tiny peek behind the curtain. They make us wonder what life is really like when the cameras stop rolling. Is it all smiles and tea parties? Or is it full of side eyes, forced conversations, and moments where even someone as polished as Kate Middleton can't hide how she really feels? Whatever the real story is, this video has definitely sparked a new wave of royal drama. People love to watch these moments, not because they want to see the royal family fail, but because it reminds us that they're human too. They have awkward moments. They have people they don't get along with. They mess up, just like the rest of us. And maybe, just maybe, that's why we can't stop watching. The video may be short, but the questions it raises are huge. What's really going on between Kate Middleton and Queen Camilla? Is this just a simple moment caught at the wrong time? Or is there something deeper happening behind palace walls? As more people see this footage, theories will keep growing, and the truth may come out sooner or later. Until then, stay tuned for more updates on this story. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what happens next.
Do you worry about protests? Do you worry about Republic coming and shouting things
Everyone has a right to think what they want.
Behind the big royal family everyone knows, there's someone most people forget about. Queen Camilla's son. He doesn't wear a crown. He doesn't stand on palace balconies. He stays quiet, away from cameras. But he has something that makes his life very different. Billions of dollars. He's not on magazine covers every day, but his world is full of things most people can only dream about. Big houses hidden behind tall trees. Fast cars that cost more than some people's homes. Trips to beautiful places that look like they came out of a movie. Expensive art, fancy clothes, private chefs, and more. All bought quietly, all kept out of the spotlight. While the world watches kings and queens, he lives a secret life of luxury. No flashing cameras, no big announcements, just quiet spending, quiet power. Behind the scenes, he moves through life with money that opens every door, but barely makes a sound. Homes that whisper wealth. Tom Parker Bowles lives in London, one of the most expensive cities in the world, and his home reflects his refined taste and financial power. He owns a beautiful townhouse, tucked away in a stylish and historic neighborhood. It's not the kind of house that screams for attention from the street, but once you step inside, it's impossible to ignore the quiet luxury that surrounds you. The home is likely filled with fine furniture, polished wooden floors, bookshelves lined with cookbooks and rare titles, and carefully chosen artwork. The kitchen, as expected from a food writer, is probably the heart of the house. It wouldn't be surprising to find top-of-the-line appliances, marble countertops, and copper pans hanging above a stove where both professional chefs and Tom himself have cooked many fine meals. But as lovely as city life is, sometimes you need space, calm, and a breath of fresh air. That's where Tom's countryside home comes in. Away from the buzz of London, he has a second property that offers peace and privacy. This home sits among the green fields and rolling hills of the English countryside. The house itself likely has a rustic charm. Stone walls, a large fireplace, and a kitchen with windows that look out over flower beds and fruit trees. It's a space designed for quiet evenings, good wine, and thoughtful conversation. Friends come to visit, long meals are shared, and time moves just a bit slower. This is the kind of place where he can step away from the public eye and simply live well. First-class travel, always. Tom Parker Bowles doesn't just live well at home. He also travels in style. When he goes abroad, he's not lining up in security queues or crammed into a middle seat. He flies first class, and sometimes even charters private jets. The destinations he chooses are just as refined as his lifestyle, often known for their beauty, culture, and of course, their food. Places like the Amalfi Coast in Italy are among his favorite getaways. With its sparkling blue waters, cliffside villages, and fresh seafood, it's a dream destination for any food lover. Tom isn't there just to relax. He's there to taste, to explore, and to experience the world's finest ingredients at their source. Provence in France is another spot that matches his lifestyle. The lavender fields, the local cheese, the deep red wines, all speak to someone who values not just luxury, but the richness of tradition and flavor. He's also often seen in the Cotswolds, sometimes alongside his mother, Queen Camilla. The area is known for its peaceful charm and classic English beauty. It's no surprise that Tom would retreat there when he wants a weekend of calm, comfort, and countryside cooking. These aren't rushed trips. They're slow, immersive, and full of detail. Every meal, every moment, planned and savored. A life built around taste. What truly sets Tom Parker Bowles apart is his deep love for food. He isn't just a man who enjoys fine meals, he's made a career out of it. As a food writer and critic, his entire world revolves around flavor. And when you have the money to chase the best tastes in the world, you do it at the highest level. Tom dines at Michelin-starred restaurants around the globe. These aren't casual dinner spots. They are temples of fine dining, where meals are carefully crafted over hours, and chefs are treated like artists. A single meal can cost hundreds, even thousands of pounds. But for Tom, this isn't about showing off. It's about the experience. It's about what's on the plate and the story behind it. He also enjoys private dinners at home with personal chefs, often preparing custom tasting menus that feature rare ingredients from around the world. These meals aren't just delicious. They're events, experiences shared with close friends who understand the value of fine cuisine. And it's not just about what he eats, but who he eats with. Tom is part of elite dining clubs and societies, private circles where food lovers come together to taste, discuss, and appreciate rare wines, exotic dishes, and cooking techniques. Entry into these circles doesn't come cheap, and they're not open to just anyone. It's another part of a lifestyle built on refined taste and quiet exclusivity. The style of a gentleman. You'll never see Tom Parker Bowles dressed in flashy designer logos or bold, trendy fashion. His style is the kind that doesn't shout. It speaks in soft, confident tones. Everything he wears looks effortless, but is clearly expensive. His suits are likely tailored to perfection, made by classic British brands that focus on craftsmanship over celebrity. He favors quiet, well-made pieces, shoes crafted from fine leather, shirts stitched with care, and accessories that suggest heritage rather than hype. A classic watch, maybe passed down or chosen for its story, adds just the right touch of elegance. This is the kind of fashion that says, "I know who I am," and that's far more powerful than any runway look. Making millions from his passions. While Tom Parker Bowles comes from money and moves in royal circles, he's also earned a fortune through his own work. As a best-selling author, his cookbooks have been sold across the world. These aren't quick recipe guides. They're thoughtful, detailed explorations of food, tradition, and flavor. His books have won awards and topped charts, earning him not just critical praise, but also a strong income. A single best-selling cookbook can earn hundreds of thousands in royalties, and with multiple books under his belt, Tom has built a personal brand that goes far beyond his famous last name. He's also a regular presence on television, judging food competitions, appearing in documentaries, and working behind the scenes in food media. Every appearance adds to his value, both financially and professionally. Beyond the page and the screen, Tom is believed to have investments in the food world. He may be a silent partner in several high-end restaurants, possibly even supporting boutique food brands that align with his values, organic farms, artisanal producers, or heritage food companies that focus on quality and tradition. These investments not only grow his wealth but keep him connected to the food world he loves so deeply. Speaking, hosting, and influencing. Quietly, Tom Parker Bowles also earns from public speaking. He is often invited to food festivals, wine events, and culinary conferences, where he shares his stories and knowledge with passionate audiences. He may guide tastings, host private events, or lead panels on everything from food history to the future of dining. These appearances aren't just side gigs. They're well-paid, well-attended, and contribute to the overall picture of a man who has built a life around passion and privilege. Every speech, every appearance is another layer of a lifestyle designed for someone who lives and breathes taste. A lifestyle steeped in quiet luxury. In the end, Tom Parker Bowles' life is not loud or flashy, but it's undeniably luxurious. From the homes he owns to the meals he eats, the way he dresses, and the businesses he supports, everything reflects quiet confidence and refined taste. He may not be a royal in title, but he moves like one. He travels the world with purpose, dines like a king, dresses with timeless class, and earns from doing what he loves most. His billions aren't splashed across headlines or spent on wild extravagance. They're poured into flavor, culture, comfort, and connection. That's how Tom Parker Bowles lives. Not just rich in money, but rich in experience. So, there you have it. A closer look into the incredibly rich, yet surprisingly under-the-radar world of Queen Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles. He may not wear a crown, but when it comes to taste, travel, and quiet luxury, he's living a life most royals would envy. If you enjoyed this peek into his billionaire lifestyle, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories from inside the lives of the world's most elite and unexpected figures. Got someone you'd like us to cover next? Drop their name in the comments below. We're always watching. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the lives you never knew were this interesting.
I think royal duty is extremely important. I think it's part of the fabric of what the royal family and any future monarch has, and it's something that is very important, and I take duty very seriously.
For years, the public has known Prince William as the responsible royal, the steady future king who follows protocol and maintains the dignity of the monarchy. In contrast to his younger brother Harry, who's made headlines with explosive interviews, a tell-all memoir, and his dramatic exit from royal duties, William has been the model heir, reliable, controlled, and scandal-free. But recent events have shattered that carefully crafted image, showing that perhaps the two brothers aren't so different after all. What DNA revelation has caused the future king to follow in his brother's controversial footsteps? The fallout has left the monarchy reeling in ways no one could have predicted. The scandal breaks. It began with what should have been a private medical procedure. In early 2025, Prince William agreed to participate in a research study at King's College London, examining genetic markers for male pattern baldness, a subject he'd often joked about publicly. The standard procedure required a simple DNA sample, which William provided without hesitation, signing routine confidentiality agreements. 3 weeks later, William's world imploded. Somehow, portions of his genetic profile were leaked to the British tabloid The Sun, which published a sensational front-page story, claiming the test had revealed stunning information about the future king's heritage that raises questions about the Windsor bloodline. While the initial report was frustratingly vague, it was enough to set off a firestorm of speculation. Palace officials immediately denied any impropriety, condemning the egregious breach of medical ethics and threatening legal action against both the newspaper and the research facility. But the damage was done. Within hours, the hashtag number sign, Royal DNASCANDAL, was trending worldwide, with rumors ranging from the plausible to the absurd. What happened next stunned even veteran royal watchers. Rather than maintain dignified silence as royal protocol dictated, William took to social media with a hastily recorded video that showed him visibly agitated, his typically polished appearance disheveled. "For years I've watched my brother be torn apart for speaking his truth," William said, his voice uncharacteristically strained. "I criticized him, both publicly and privately. I thought maintaining the institution was more important than anything else, but now that I'm the target of these violations and lies, I understand what drove him to break free." The video, clearly made without palace approval, was deleted within 30 minutes, but not before it had been viewed millions of times and captured by countless users who continued to circulate it. The composed, controlled Prince William, the world thought they knew, had vanished, replaced by a man on the verge of a very public breakdown. The Harry parallel. What made William's situation particularly remarkable was how closely it mirrored his brother's path. Like Harry, he was now facing intense media scrutiny about his private life. Like Harry, he was chafing against palace restrictions on how to respond. And like Harry, he was beginning to publicly question the system he'd been raised to uphold. Royal insiders reported that King Charles was deeply concerned about his elder son's behavior, particularly given how critical William had been when Harry followed a similar path. One former palace aide told The Times, "William was absolutely furious with Harry for going public with family matters. He considered it the ultimate betrayal of royal principles. Now he's doing exactly the same thing, which suggests whatever was revealed in that DNA test has truly shaken him to his core." Princess Catherine was notably absent during the initial days of the scandal, reportedly taking their 3 children to her parents' home in Bucklebury to shield them from the media frenzy. Her silence spoke volumes, as the normally supportive royal wife made no public show of standing by her husband. Most ironically, the only family member to publicly support William was Harry himself, who issued a brief statement from California. "No one understands better than I do the pressure of having your private life exploited for public consumption. Despite our differences, I stand with my brother and respect his right to respond to these intrusions as he sees fit." The DNA revelation. As William's public behavior grew increasingly erratic, skipping a scheduled appearance at a military ceremony, being photographed arguing with aides outside Kensington Palace, and reportedly refusing calls from his father. More details about the DNA findings emerged from multiple sources. The test had allegedly revealed that William carried genetic markers inconsistent with the known Windsor profile. Specifically, the analysis showed heritage that raised questions about the official narrative of his royal lineage. While the tabloids gleefully speculated about potential infidelity in Charles and Diana's marriage, genetics experts noted that such testing frequently reveals unexpected ancestry several generations back. What seemed to trigger William's most extreme reaction, however, wasn't just the content of the revelations, but the palace's response to them. According to sources close to the prince, senior royal advisors had prepared a strategy of blanket denials, controlled leaks to friendly media outlets, and a campaign to discredit the research facility, all without addressing the substance of the findings. It was exactly the same playbook they used against Harry and Meghan, one source told The Guardian. William suddenly found himself on the receiving end of the institution's protection machinery, and he didn't like what he saw. It was as if a veil had been lifted. The family division deepens. The aftermath of William's interview created the greatest crisis for the monarchy since Harry and Meghan's departure. King Charles, reportedly devastated by his son's public comments, retreated to Balmoral Castle in Scotland, cancelling several planned engagements. Palace sources described the king as being caught between his role as monarch and his love for his son, an echo of Queen Elizabeth's dilemma during Harry's exit. The royal family split into factions. Princess Anne and Prince Edward publicly supported the traditional palace approach of dignity and discretion, with Anne telling reporters, "Some conversations belong behind closed doors, regardless of circumstance." In contrast, several of the younger royals, including Princess Eugenie and Zara Tindall, were rumored to have privately expressed support for William's newfound outspokenness. Most notably, Harry reached out directly to his brother, with sources claiming the two spoke by video call for over 2 hours, their longest conversation in years. According to those familiar with the call, Harry offered advice on handling media pressure outside the palace system, and shared his own experiences with prioritizing personal truth over institutional expectations. Catherine finally returned to London a week after the interview, but observers noted a distinct coolness between the couple during their first public appearance together. Body language experts pointed to their physical distance, minimal eye contact, and Catherine's strained smile as evidence of serious marital tension resulting from William's unilateral decisions. The royal rebel. As days turned into weeks, William showed no signs of backing down or conforming to palace expectations. Instead, he seemed to be taking pages directly from Harry's playbook, embracing a new role as royal rebel with increasing confidence. He launched his own social media accounts independent of Kensington Palace's official channels, giving him direct access to the public without institutional filtering. His first post, "Time for some overdue truth-telling," gained over 1 million followers within hours. In a move that particularly alarmed traditional royalists, William began selectively engaging with comments about the monarchy's colonial past, acknowledging historical wrongs, and suggesting that full accountability was necessary for the institution to evolve. These comments echoed positions Harry and Meghan had taken years earlier, positions that had been privately dismissed by William at the time. Most shocking was William's announced partnership with Netflix for a documentary series examining the relationship between the British monarchy and the media, a project with uncomfortable parallels to Harry and Meghan's much-criticized Netflix deal. The working title, Behind the Palace Walls, suggested a level of institutional critique that would have been unimaginable from William just months earlier. "It's as if he's deliberately retracing Harry's steps," one royal historian noted. "The same boundary breaking, the same media partnerships, the same willingness to question the monarchy publicly. The only difference is that William can't be exiled from the succession as easily as the spare." The family summit. With the monarchy facing its greatest crisis in generations, King Charles finally took decisive action. He summoned both William and Harry, the latter reluctantly agreeing to return to the UK for the first time in years, to a private family summit at Sandringham, reminiscent of the 2020 meeting that had formalized Harry's departure from royal duties. Unlike that earlier meeting, this summit included no courtiers, advisors, or other family members, just Charles and his 2 sons behind closed doors for nearly 6 hours. When they emerged, all 3 looked emotionally drained but, according to staff, somewhat reconciled. No formal statement followed the meeting, but dramatic changes soon became apparent. William returned to royal duties, though with a noticeably different approach, more outspoken, less bound by convention, and more willing to acknowledge problems within the institution. His Netflix project was reconfigured as a documentary about modernizing the monarchy, with the king's grudging approval. Most significantly, Harry announced plans for his first extended return to the UK since his departure, with a carefully negotiated agreement for limited royal duties focusing on charitable work. Sources close to both brothers suggested that William had insisted on Harry's partial return as a condition of his own continued cooperation with royal expectations. The new normal today, months after the DNA scandal that triggered this extraordinary chain of events. The British monarchy operates in a changed landscape. William has neither fully returned to his former compliant role, nor completely broken free in the manner of his brother. Instead, he has carved out a new position as an internal reformer, still committed to the monarchy's future, but determined to modernize it on his own terms. The palace has never officially acknowledged the specific DNA findings that sparked William's transformation. Most royal experts now believe the test revealed something about William's ancestry that contradicted official Windsor history. Not recent enough to affect his claim to the throne, but significant enough to make him question the institution's relationship with truth. William's relationship with Harry remains complex, but has undeniably improved. The brothers are not the inseparable team they once were, but they now speak regularly and have made several joint appearances focusing on their mother's charitable legacy. Observers note that William has adopted several of Harry's perspectives about royal duty and institutional reform, while Harry has shown new respect for William's commitment to preserving a modernized monarchy. The DNA test may have revealed unexpected information about William's genetic heritage, one royal commentator observed. But the real revelation was how quickly the perfect prince could transform into a royal rebel when the institution turned its machinery against him. In finding himself suddenly in Harry's shoes, William found a new understanding of his brother, and perhaps a new version of himself. For the British monarchy, long defined by tradition and continuity, the future now holds something far less predictable, an heir who has experienced his own version of royal rebellion and emerged with a determination to change the very institution he will someday lead.